application, there are actually 4 new entrants from the list of 2016 to 2017, and these are 7, 8, and 9, and 10. These are not in the list last year, but now in the 17 list. Okay, so law, public, journalists, advertising, training, and IT, those are common. But now you have this new 4 that's coming in for the fresh graduates. Okay, so interesting to note also that you will have here a snapshot of how much is the average price or salary offered for the fresh graduates in the different areas in the Philippines. So one thing that shocked us all is actually the one in North, because they're paying very comparative in terms of price level with NCR. So that's one thing that is new to us in the 17th data. Okay? So those are the things that we have seen in terms of the jobs. Now, one indicator of this report is actually what's the view of the hirers. Nagbago ba yung perception, requirement ng mga hirers for fresh graduates? Okay, and we'll see this. Okay, so just to give you an idea that this survey was participated by these kinds of employees or hirers, and we see that this is a good representation of what the labor market is in terms of their hires' perspective. Okay, so when we ask them, are you willing to hire a fresh graduate? And resounding yes. Okay, and then who said yes? So isang qualifier lang, yung mga hindi nag-hire ng fresh graduates, these are the top 5 reasons why do not, and mainly because they're looking for experience and highly specialized to kanilang mga industries. That's why a fresh graduate cannot be part of the roster. So experience is first and then specialization. Okay? So these are the roles where the fresh graduates landed up as their first job, first role in the company. Majority of them are in accounting and finance, administrative and operations, and down the line. So whenever a fresh graduate would go and be entering the industry or the company, normally these are the top 10 roles that they perform in that organization. Okay. So we also asked, what are you now looking for the fresh graduate? And this is very interesting as compared to what we have in 2016. So there's the top 3 that they like, and the below that is lacking. Okay? So in 2016, let us refresh. So in 2015, the top requirement that they have was experience, extracurricular activities, and part-time. It now moved into attitude, field of study, and asking study. And the data today, that in 2017, what we're asking is attitude, communication skills, and analytical thinking. So that means from a very hardcore, tangible competency, they're now going to the more behavioral aspect. So they want attitude, they want teamwork, they want good in communication, they want good in problem solving. So it has changed, and we call this the 21st century skills. So what is still lacking? On the bottom part, the blue one. So even if your employers find out graduates are willing to learn, they have personal grooming and working team, these are the bottom things that is lacking. So, ano yung pagkukulang dun sa mga fresh graduates? na nakita nila at na-observe. From 2016, so hina sa analysis, in English language proficiency, and problem solving. Yun yung dati. This year, it's really task management, leadership potential. And you would see now, our hirers are becoming very demanding. Kahit na fresh graduate ka, they're still demanding or actually looking for leadership qualities. Normally in the past, leadership qualities are actually looked for if you're applying for a supervisorial position. Now, they want it as a fresh grad pa lang. Exhibiting consumer empathy is actually very soft skill. How would you measure that you have empathy to the customer? So nagiging customer-related na rin ang businesses ngayon, and the people that they want to get can actually relate to the customers. Kasi nga naman, customers is king, right? Analysis of situation is another way of putting problem solving. And it's still part of that, low or desired na hinihingi ng mga hires natin. Okay? Okay, so this is an introduction on when we try to map the fresh graduates with the hirers, we map this to the school. Okay, so saan ba nanggagaling na eskwelahan yung madaming kinukuha ng mga hirers at bakit? So this has a new dimension now. Why are they getting from the school? So one, ito yung reasons nila. Number one, our company believes in the school's reputation. So we just had to spell it out that certain schools have certain reputation based on what they observe. Second, most applications or vacancies are coming from the school. So malamang word of mouth. If someone graduated from this school says, I'm working in jobstreet, maybe they say, where are you working? And it lands on their mind and they try to look for jobs in that particular organization. Third, our company acknowledges the positive attitude. So it's reverberating that there is an attitude criteria now being looked for by our hirers. Fourth is the school is near the company. So baka malapit doon sa pinagtatrabuhan like Makati, which schools in Makati are very near to the business centers. If the applicants from the school have outstanding profiles and resume, so they discover that from the school, magagaling talaga yung mga estudyante. Okay, so what are the top 10 schools now where hirers are getting their fresh graduate employees? So here are the top 10, starting with the number 10, UE, and noticeably, the next two are from Cebu. This is the only year that we found two schools outside Metro Manila, and these are University of Cebu and University of San Carlos, all found in Cebu City. PIP, De La Salle, FEU, PLM, and UST. And the top three schools where they get are from the Ateneo, from UP, and PUP. And number one, PUP, back after 2 years. And we will actually give an explanation coming from what the hirer says. Why from these schools? Okay? So number one, why are we getting from Ateneo? Our company believes in school reputation, our company acknowledges positive attitude, and our company's management prefer from this school. Number two, University of the Philippines. Our company believes in school reputation, they have outstanding profile, and the graduates from this are actually having positive attitude and work ethic. And now, why PUP? Most of the applications or applicants comes from this school to fill our vacancies. Second, our company believes in the school's reputation of producing quality graduates and eventual employees. So yung mga nagpa-part-time, nagiging employee din eventually from that school. And our company acknowledges the positive attitude and work ethic from this school. These are coming from the employers that answer this survey. Okay? So, we also try to dimension from the different industries, BPO and engineering, where they get their fresh graduates. So if you are, for example, in education, the number one school that provides education is UP, followed by De La Salle, and the Philippine Normal University, which we know the Philippine Normal is actually producers of good teachers. So that's where the reputation that the school has. So interestingly, you can find the different schools in the different industries. Like for example, in engineering, you will find FEU, TIP, and university. Okay, if you look at BPO, you get from UP, PUP, and UST, and down the line. Okay. The first time natin magkaroon ng K-12 graduates. So what do you think? Are our employers willing to take into their employee force K-12 graduates? Any idea? Indefinite. Indefinite? Okay, sige, let's see. So, we asked several questions from our hirers and asked them, on a scale of 1 to 5, do you know about K-12 graduates? Okay? And the answer is, okay, not really significant. There are all of these, no? So, nakita nyo yung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these are the answers. Changes in the educational system, medyo, in the middle. Goal and vision of the program, in the middle. And employment opportunities for K-12 graduates, actually lower at 2.68 and 2.66. Okay, so they know the program, but in terms of their acceptability, it's 2.66 and 2.68. And let me explain that further. So, what they will say is yes, 24% will say yes, I will accept. 35% said I will not. And 41% not sure. Okay? So when I ask them, okay, will you take K-12 graduates? These are the answers. Okay, so let me break down this further. So those who are not hiring claim that a college degree is still a priority. So our opening for college graduates is only 36%. They are not qualified for vacant positions. Ito yung mga reasons nila. We have no openings for positions for the K-12. And there's no work experience or sufficient experience for K-12. So these are the guys who said, I will not. And these are the reasons. Okay. So for those who's definite, a majority of them will say, we're still evaluating. Company is not yet ready. Okay? But there is a optimistic view in the future that they may take K-12. And for those who said yes, okay, these are the industries they will take in K-12 today. So BPO, manufacturing, professional services, retail, machinery, and equipment. So sila yung mga significantly that said, okay, tatanggap kami ng K-12 graduates. Okay, so pag pumasok sila in the companies, these are the top 5 roles that they will be working on in that organization. Majority of them will be in administrative, customer service, sales and marketing, operations, and IT roles. So kapag nag-hire ako, most likely I will end up working on these roles. Okay? Okay, so in similar fashion or in similar criteria, what are they looking for a fresh graduate from college, and what are they looking for a fresh grad on K-12? These are the main reasons or main criteria that they look for. They still look for work attitude, interpersonal and communication skills, knowledge in the field of study, academic performance, and more importantly, the experience or OJT. So are they willing to pay? How much would they be paying a K-12 graduate? A good news is that majority or more than 50%, half and half, will pay minimum, but the next half will actually be willing to pay above minimum wage. Okay, so let me just summarize the whole 3 decks or three segments. Number 1, our employer shows a preference on the 21st century capabilities or skills. And normally, and we define that more on the soft skills. Attitude, A for attitude. Law is still the number 1 highest paying specialization for the fresh graduates. There are opportunities to have 10% growth of jobs welcoming fresh graduates. A majority of employers are still indefinite about accepting K-12 graduates. And finally, those who are into the K-12, it is good to know that the entry level for administrative, customer service, sales, and marketing roles are good for them. However, they have to bear in mind that they will be screened as the same screening process of a fresh graduate in college and in K-12. So pareho yung process, so they have to really be very good at what they do. Okay? So on the employer side, again, we are recommending the following things. Number 1, to benchmark their salary and the hiring requirements for the job seekers. Second is for the education sector to recreate a more impactful introduction because there's 41% of the hires still indefinite whether they will take it. And for the student to really be becoming, despite the fact that the jobs are growing, the requirements are actually becoming more stricter. Okay. So there is the report. Now we'll open for any questions from the floor.